Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. If you are new to our channel, make sure you are subscribing. Get on the journey with us, close to 26,000 subscribers. Smash the like button and share your thoughts if you watched the game. If you didn't, then welcome to my reaction. It's currently 3:27 in the morning and it's the earliest match reaction I think I've ever done. So for the graft, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel. So we are going to do the match reaction. We're going to do the player ratings as well. So first half lineup was Martinez, Maatsen, Pau, Konsa, Rowe, Onana, McGinn, Bailey, Marlon, Buendia and Rodgers. Aston Villa started this game really well on the front foot, being aggressive, assertive, and we looked to impose ourselves very early on. McGinn sort of jumped straight into a challenge, won the ball back, and was able to drive forward. And we scored a really well-worked goal. And again, Daniel Marlon driving forward in that half space, and he slipped in Morgan Rodgers. The pass looked pretty simple, but the execution on it, the weight of it, allowed Rodgers to drive on and absolutely smack it into the bottom corner. That was really interesting to see because that's now Marlon's third assist this pre-season, and that's what we want from pre-season. We've won the game, but it's irrelevant because what's happening during these performances is something that we should all be looking at with an eagle eye, really. Rowe started at right back. He looks very calm and composed. A young player that I've been watching for the under-21s. Really impressing me, his touch, but it was a real mature performance. It was a performance where he didn't shy away from having the ball. He looked calm, composed, and he was passing it backwards and just making sure he was recycling possession, looking really calm. Didn't have to go forward as much. So I actually felt like he had a really good game, and Emery was on the sidelines coaching him as well. We saw some opportunities where the goalkeeper was launching it to Marlon, and Marlon was 1v1. We was having opportunities with those. We looked to exploit St. Louis as well, where we was able to try and get 1v1, and Marlon was a threat, trying to stretch the opposition. Bailey was stretching when Martinez was going long as well. And we actually defended a 2v1 well, with Rowe defending at the back post as well. There was a cross that came in and Rowe defended the back post. The system in the first half looked really expansive to me. It was an expansive 4-4-2 with both fullbacks having width and occupying the whole width of the pitch. It wasn't too hybrid. It was more 4-4-2 based. Onana was playing incisive balls into Morgan Rodgers. Again, there was more of Martinez to Marlon, 1v1 shots. And that was generally the first half. Pretty good from Villa. And some standout performances with Rowe, Onana, etc. Second half, we made changes. We brought on Bezo, Digne, Bogard, Mings, Cash, Kamara, Yuri, Jimo Aloba, Illing Jr., Watkins, and Buendia. Note that there was no Jacob Ramsey, so I'm not sure where he was. There is talks of him potentially going to West Ham. McGinn missed out the last game. Was Ramsey missing out because he's played all of the pre-season games so far? Potentially, I don't know. I'm not sure where he is. And we started to see Kamara and the system changed. I think it changed 2 times in the second half. Kamara was screening the back three more. So he was with Bogard, Mings and Kamara, and Cash was occupying width on the right. And then late on in the second half, we switched the system more. So Digne was occupying a defensive shape on the left with Mings and Bogard. So we kind of flipped our normal system. So again, within this game, we've played 3 different systems and also playing different personnel in different areas. Matty Cash started to get forward quite a lot, and he actually played a beautiful ball into Ollie Watkins. The ball came out to Cash, took a touch, put the cross in. Great header from Watkins, 2-0 to Villa. But what I actually liked about it was within that whole move, we was able to recycle possession. It started with Jimo Aloba on the left. It then went long to that right-hand side. We keep the ball in with Ealing Jr., plays it back to Cash. And I think that's really good work for when we're coming up against low block teams in the Premier League, because it's about recycling possession, but also making sure that the opposition are dishevelled and out of shape. We are structured and composed. Ball goes in, and Watkins is there to put a really good header in. We do then concede, and it's a tough one to concede, because Kamara's done a Cruyff turn on the edge of the 18-yard box, and he's overhit the Cruyff turn. A player's come into him and smacked him, took Kamara out. Ball's gone to one of their players, and they've scored. Bezo has got no chance with it. But it's one of those where in the Premier League, it's probably a foul, but don't give them the opportunity to not give the foul. I think it was one of those where you've seen it given, you've seen it not given, but just don't mess about with it on the edge of the box. And that's what we do, and they get back in the game. Mings makes a no-nonsense clearance, helping out Bogard. Digne, like I say, then moves into a free at the back. We then hit the post with an Ealing Jr. shot, and then there's a little cameo from Bezo coming out for 2 crosses, and he's retrieving with safe hands, and twice he comes out and claims it. So really good hands from Bezo. Again, really impressed with him. And then finally, Matty Cash comes inside. I'll repeat that. Matty Cash comes inside, plays the ball to Watkins, who's just narrowly offside. And I do think he does stick it away, but he was offside. So really good workout from Villa. A lot to take in with the different systems. We played well. So let's do the player ratings, and we can go a little bit more in depth on what we've seen from some of the Villa players. What I will say is we'll give a benchmark 7 is a good benchmark for a good game. So if you are solid and when you've played well, you'll be getting a 7. So when I look at SofaScore ratings across a whole season, if you've got a 7 rating, you are doing something right. So Martinez, great to see him back in a Villa shirt, back playing. Didn't really have too much to do. Distribution was good going long to Donyell Marlon, so I thought he played well. Konsa, very calm, very composed. Pau, exactly the same. Pau's defending for one moment was actually really good. I rate Pau's defending for one moment. Cash will give I'm going to give an 8 to Matty Cash, because I thought his distribution was good. He was looking to get forward more. He had more license to get forward. That cross he put in for Watkins was like a worldy cross. Like, to pick him out, it's a great cross. So really good. Digne will go 7. And I think during the season, guys, I will go more in depth on the actual performances of players. But because it's pre-season, like, I don't want to overhype. You know, we've played St. Louis, we've won 2-1, and we've played well. And some players will get a bit more of a mention than others, but be aware that during the season, I will be really going in on these players and having a look at how they performed. We'll be looking at the numbers regarding individual players that will be basing our scores on: passing stats, duels, goals, assists. We'll be basing it on a lot. So there will be more to come from this than me just going, you're getting a 7. Kamara gets like a 6. Like, even though he gave the ball away at the edge of the box, he was still very good. You know, he was knitting everything together. There was one moment where he was pressing on the edge of the box, which is something that I want to be able to see from him more and more. He then was doing his tactical stuff where he was screening, making up a back 3. So really good. McGinn's first game back gets a solid 7. Watkins gets a 9. Header, really, really good. Superb header. Ran the channels well. Very good performance from Watkins. Mings, solid 7. Helped out with Bogard. Tielemans, 7. Didn't really have to do too much. Bezo, 7, even though he conceded again. come out safe hands. Really liked that from him. Marlon, 8, ran that channel well. Also, Marlon played up front first half, which again, he was dropping deep, looking to link up play, looking to link things together. And some things were coming off, some things weren't. He had an opportunity in the first half where he was through and he had sort of like a cross shot and it just went out for a goal kick. But he was a threat playing up front and he looks absolutely rapid. And 3 assists in his last 2 games. Really, really impressive. Maatsen, again, gets a 7. Pretty solid from Maatsen. Onana, I thought, played really well in the first half. He can get an 8. And my man of the match, guys, I'm going to go Bogard. Bogard is really, really starting to impress me. He played at centre-back today, and he was calm, composed. He won a 1v1. He had to have a bit of help from Mings, but he defended his man and allowed Mings to come back and defend. Looked calm and composed on the ball. Stepped out from the back as well. So Bogard really impressed me in this game. And I think he's, even though he's not sort of doing things that you're like, oh my God, that's absolutely amazing. He's solid. And I think we need to praise Bogard. So Bogard would be my man of the match. Rodgers, I'm going to give an 8. Took his goal very, very well. Bailey, okay, similar to last season. Runs well, presses well. One time he lost the ball and just walked back. That didn't really impress me that much. So I'm going to give him a 6. Ealing Jr. will give a 7. He hit the post, worked hard. But again, I just want to see a little bit more from him. Buendia, I'll give a 6. Wasn't feeling Buendia's performance, to be honest, guys. It was a bit flat, a bit lackluster, and flat as to deceive. And I don't think he'll be playing games for Villa in the Premier League. And actually, I'm going to give another shout out to a young lad that played, Rowe, someone that always impresses me. And I thought he had a real solid game for Aston Villa. Shimo Aloba played well. I'll give him a 6. Patterson came late on. I'll give him a 6. So those are pretty much everybody. 7s and 6s across the board. 8s and 9s from 5 players. And then 2 players that I thought stood out for me and played well were Bogard and Rowe. So I think it was a really good workout and a game where the opposition were good. Ref let things go a little bit too much second half, which was a bit frustrating and I don't think helped our momentum in the game. But again, minutes in the tank, some good performances, rotating the system between 3 formations, which was good, which is what we want to see. And yeah, a really good watch along. We had 500 people watching at the end at 3:20. It was wild. So shout out to everybody that was in the watch along watching, because you guys are brilliant for watching at that time as well. So there's my match reaction. I imagine a lot of people haven't watched the game because it's on really, really early in the morning. But those are my honest thoughts. I think I've been pretty fair with the player ratings as well. So cheers everyone for watching. And it's now 3:41. So on the way out, hit the like button, subscribe for the dedication. Up the Villa.